Good day. We are the Group 12 and we'll be discussing the communication technology, social movements, and forms of social movements. So, I am Decadet Balambao Babiglen and I'm about to discuss the communication technology. So, what is communication technology? Communication technology, which also known as information technology, it refers to all equipment and programs that are used to process and communicate information. So, professionals in the communication technology in this field specialize in the development, installation, and service of these hardware and software systems. And it encompasses a wide range of technologies that enable to transfer of information over short or long distances. And I'm to give a some key aspects and examples of communication technology. First one is the internet, which it is one of the most fundamental communication technology which allowing people to access and share information globally. It includes various services like email, web browsing, social media, and instant messaging. And the second will be the telecommunications, which it includes traditional landline phones, mobile phones, or as we seafarers, we use a radio or walkie-talkie, and somehow it enables a voice and video communication over long distances. And the third one will be the social media, as I have mentioned earlier, which it is the platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and also it allow people to connect, share, and communicate with others globally. So the fourth one will be the wireless communication, which it includes technologies like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and cellular networks, or shall we say our SIM cards, and which ever since we used it, and which allows wireless data transfer and mobile communication. And the fifth one will be the video conferencing. So it is a technology which allows people to hold face-to-face meeting in and discussions remotely, or shall we say just in online class we used a Google Meet and others used Zoom. And lastly is email. So it is a widely used communication tool for sending text and attachment over the internet. It's primary means of business communication and personal correspondence. But yes, more likely email is common used for everyone. And so, thus, communication technology continues to evolve, enabling faster and more reliable and more immersive ways of connecting people and transmitting information. And also, it has a profound impact on business, education, entertainment, healthcare, and many other aspects of modern life. And just be reminded that communication technology has also advantage and disadvantages.
Okay, good day everyone, I am Decadet Pilogronio. For today's video, I'm going to tackle about the social movements. So, social movements are the types of groups, action. They are large, sometimes informal groupings of individuals or which focus on specific of individuals or which focus on specific political or issues. In other words, they carry out or resist or undo a social change. So in the history of the Philippines, there have been numerous social movements that have been recorded and written about. So social movements can be both official and informal, such as protests and rallies. These are the instances of social movements. The next one is that he is alleged that even those resolutions are there, so even he is not formal, like there is no exact membership because we don't know what you are going to fight for you. Just go there right away. So that is social movements. So what is their target, or whatever social movements are related. Social movements it's about carry or resist or undo social change. So that's their main purpose to carry out, resist or undo a social change. For example, the the presidents may say, okay, you are not allowed to be one except because there is COVID. So they do not resist from social change. They resist from social. So they adopt what is normal, what people do. So do a protest in I know in America, I don't know what if it's true that there are protests amongst them. They are mandated by the government to wear a mask, wearing a mask. So but they resist from your normal, from the change of social. So they protest. They want freedom, whether to use or not a face mask, right? Right, Neil, or freedom. They are right you to decide their and it, however or cover your nose. So carry out, for example, those who have lost but they want it to be back. If it's hard to continue when we have to undo, when we say undo, return, for example. Those who protest we want to return the state penalty, so they protest for presentation. If it's hard to return to death penalty, just like that. Okay, social movements includes of commonly the members of the people are doing social movements are a large number of individuals sa dili magkaila gura lang, so even wala sila kabalo sa ilang folly, they do not fully understand what they are fighting for, they join. So if they get the point to fight, they don't understand because there are people, they are the point, they are the point. For example, they want to restore, and martial law in Mindanao. We don't know what the situation is in Mindanao, if Mindanao are really in need of martial law or not. So they don't know that martial law is ugly to the people. When they hear that Mindanao has a martial law, they don't know what policies, but implementation that kind of martial law is, so they don't join. So they will fight for kung gabaga to oppose to post of martial law. Then we have a group, so that now we're getting, they have goals. Something must be changed, something must not be changed, some things must be returned. So social movements turns around political and social issues. So dire lang siya commonly negative. So for example, when it comes to political, we do not know what, or we do not like who is, or who is the one naga role. So we don't like who is ruling. In it's a revolution, they do not like ruling. That's why they made a revolution. That's political, and we don't have social issues related movements. So for example, feminism movements kay abuses towards movements, or the women wanted to have more freedom and liberation, just like that. And that's all. Thank you.
What are the social movements and why are they important? Social movements are an important aspect of the modern age. These movements are social in that they can encompass all aspects of society, political, economic, social, and cultural. They are important because they have the power to shift the consciousness of the public to create big changes in society. Here are some common forms of social movements. Revolutionary movements. Revolutionary movements aim to fundamentally transform existing social, political, or economic systems. Revolutionary movements aim the changes they advocate for are often radical and transformative. Example, the American Revolution 1775 to 1783 was a revolutionary movement aimed at gaining independence from British colonial rule and establishing a new nation. Reform movements. Movements seek to make limited changes within existing systems or institutions. They aim to improve or reform a specific aspect of society without advocating for a complete overhaul. Example, educational reform movements may seek to improve the quality of education without fundamentally changing the education system. Next, alternative social movement is a type of social movement that seeks to challenge or offer an alternative to the prevailing social, political, economic, or cultural norms and systems. These movements often advocate for change at the fundamental level, presenting alternative visions of society and promoting different ways of organizing and living. Alternative social movements often challenge the status quo and may reject or question mainstream values and institutions. Redemptive social movement is a type of social movement that seeks to bring about radical personal and individual transformation within its members. Unlike many other social movements that aim for broader societal and structural change, the redemptive movements focus on the inner or spiritual transformation of their participants. Redemptive social movements focus on bringing out the radical, personal, and individual transformation within their members. Civil rights movements. These movements aim to secure equal rights and eliminate discrimination based on race, ethnicity, gender, or other factors. Example, the U.S. civil rights, the women's suffrage movements, and the movements for LGBTQ plus rights. Next, environmental movements. Environmental activities work to address issues related to conservation, pollution, climate change, and sustainability. Environmental movements. The global environmental movement, which includes organizations like Greenpeace and movements advocating for climate action. Social justice movements. These movements addresses a wide range of social issues such as poverty, inequality, and systematic racism. Example is a Black Lives Matter movement. Movements for economic justice and those advocating for housing equality. Next, human rights movements. These movements advocate for the protection of human rights globally. Organizations like Amnesty International and movements against human trafficking and child labor. Political movements. These movements aims to change government policies or promote specific political ideologies. Next, cultural movements. Cultural movements like the Harlem Renaissance focus on art, literature, music, and cultural expression as tools for social change. These movements play crucial roles in addressing social, political, and cultural issues, and they often work in tandem to bring about change and progress within society.